Destruction. One simple word that means tons of things. It means death, crumbling, seizing, burning, vanishing, killing. But one word that brings destruction that no one seems to talk about anymore is gutter punk. Gutter punk and destruction are one another. Uneducated, heavy aggravated, confused, abused teens who self-destruct themselves and self-destruct others. That destruction is never talked about. You can throw a brick through a window and fix a window. You could spray paint a wall and paint over it. But you can't cut yourself open and stitch it back together. And you can't spray paint over cuts and scars. Multiple kids tend to run away. Get away from the things that are usually killing them on an everyday basis. I was one of those kids. It was 1984. I grew up in New Jersey. Everyone around me was dull, normal, and living well. Meanwhile, I was dealing with an alcoholic father and a druggy mom. And also a brother and a sister who OD'd multiple times in the same household. I wanted out of there. It was about early December of 1984 when the boiling point came. Cold in my scattered, messy room, blasting punk records and trying to look for any form of res to smoke, because I could never afford any weed. My parents were going at it hard that night and decided to involve me in it somehow. I had enough. It was around 11 p.m. After halfway through my search, I was just sitting there and I decided to turn my record up. I could hear him fighting all the way from downstairs.
I don't give a shit, you stupid twat. You're gonna go up there and you're gonna try and get lazy piece of shit down here. So we can fucking clean this pigsty. How are you do nothing? You don't tell me what to do. I'm really time, George. You ain't leaving shit, you whore. I'm gonna fucking murder you. That boy's music started pissing me off.
Hey, Matthew! Turn this shit off! Yo, man, what are you doing? I'm trying to correct your shit. Maybe if you were a normal fucking person, I wouldn't fucking hate you so much. Goddamn slime ball. Now go downstairs and clean up all the fucking trash you made. I ain't gotta do shit. So much for a fucking deadbeat father saying he hates his son. Goddamn smart mouth little piece of shit. I'm getting the fucking belt. Do it. He won't fucking hit me. He continued to swing violent swings towards me as he knocked my face a few times with his belt buckle. After that, I quickly started defending myself by rushing him up against my wall. I sent a few punches into his stomach before he could throw me across the room and then try to get me into a chokehold. It took me about 15 minutes of struggling until I finally kicked him unconscious enough to get downstairs. I only took 2 outfits. I was fucking leaving. I'm done. Hey! Where are you going? Out of here. You can't do that. Go back upstairs. No. I don't gotta listen to you. Authority figures like you don't deserve to give rules because you don't care too much. Honestly, you should just quit being a parent. You already failed about 17 years ago. I'm out. It was cold as all hell when I was walking down my street. I stopped by the train tracks and I waved for the nearest train to come. I didn't have a car and I was too young to drive, but I needed out. By the time one of the trains passed, not much boxcars were open to jump in, but I did find one. Alright, I can do this. I can do this. 1, 2, 3! I quickly ran and jumped and grabbed onto the train. One of my legs dragged from it, giving me some road rash on my ankle. But I managed to pull myself up into the boxcar. So, apparently freedom feels like a bunch of gravel and cold wind hitting your face. I sat in the corner and I just waited until I arrived at my next stop. We stopped at a few places. West Virginia, PA. Not exactly in that order, but my last stop was Cumberland. I've never been here before. I don't know anything about the town. The only thing I know is that it's small and I could start over. I was a young, angsty 17-year-old punk just looking for a home. I wasn't going to find it in a household full of conformists. Walking through the city, I didn't see anything too interesting that caught my eye out. Bunch of high-pressed, rich, upper-class people who were rednecks because they lived in the mountains. Roaming through the streets and ghettos, just hoping to find people like me. I felt lost. I slept on a bench for a few days. Crazy, right? On the bench in the cold in the winter, 17, all because I fist fought my dad. Trust me, there's more to the story, but you'll figure it out when you get to know me more. I was freezing, cold and defeated. I couldn't take it no more. I needed someone, some connection. It was around late 10 p.m., walking around a downtown district. I see what looked like a show ended. All these punks. They start just flying out of the theater, hocked up on adrenaline and anger and angst. One of them came over to me and asked if I was new there. I told him, yeah. They asked me where I came from, and I didn't want to mention it. I just told them I'm trying to find a way to start over. One of the guys that taught to me, his name was Crystal. He was 27, and he's been in this punk family that lives in a squatter house in a neighborhood that's all the way in the south side of Cumberland. Hey there, you sad sack of shit. What are you doing just sitting on the side of the road? I ain't got nowhere to go, man. Can't find anywhere. Nah, that's nonsense. What if I said I got a hookup for you? Now look, the deal isn't all gold-gated community and amazing, but it's free, no bills, and you might meet some interesting people. We run the south side of Cumberland, and we got a division of neighborhoods. We took out the street signs so cops couldn't find which street trouble was on. And we changed all the house numbers to spray paint numbers on the wall. All the houses around that area look the same. Hard to find the ones you need to go to. Really? That kind of sounds interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best shape, but It'll definitely keep a fucking roof over your head. You wait around here for about another hour and you'll get the bums coming to ask you for cigarettes and money. I got neither. Get in the car with me, champ. What's your name? Matthew. Oh, come on. Something that boring? Who named you? Some fucking upper class people. I sometimes wish. Instead, it was a man that needs a fucking vodka in him just to breathe. Yikes. Guess he dealt with alcoholics, druggies, alcoholics. You name it, I probably witnessed it. Well, everyone goes by a different name around here. We gotta find yours, but we'll worry about that later. Let's get you indoctrinated into our family first. We finally pulled up into a blank street full of white houses. Each one of them looking exactly the same. Numbers were jotted down the sides, front, and sometimes the roof. I guess these are numbers that you have to tell people to meet you at. I can't believe they division themselves like this. Just squat. So, how do you guys keep warm? We really don't. We kind of just bundle up and hope for the best. Oh. Yeah, it's not going to be the best experience out here for you. I get it, but it's the best you can get around here. Paradise in a little shit bowl known as a shitty city in the mountains. Well, here's our stop, buddy. Grab your bag. Welcome home.